everyone, and welcome along into the Sporty Show. A pleasure to have you joining us, as always. A big moment last night in African football as the AFCON draw was set in stone, and we do have the groups available, so we'll be reacting to that, getting everyone's opinion, seeing who is maybe the group of death, what may be the easiest group. We'll break it down. Also, we are looking into transfers because some big transfer talk is happening as we get to the end of this week and closer to deadline day. But first, let me introduce myself, your host, Sarah Pararia, and as always, joined by the one and only Mr. KlintonCod.
I'm joined by the one and only Alex Ashmore.
And joined by, there's no one else for me to introduce. How are you guys doing?
Easy stuff.
Doing good. All right, shall we get right into it, gentlemen? AFCON draw has been done. The groups have been determined. Let's go through them, and then we'll break it down. So in Group A, we do have Morocco, Mali, Zambia, and Comoros. Group B sees Egypt, South Africa, Angola, and Zimbabwe. Group C is Nigeria, Clinton Super Eagles, Tunisia, Uganda, and Tanzania. Group D, Senegal, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Benin, and Botswana. Group E, Algeria, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, and Sudan. And finally, Group F, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Gabon, and Mozambique. Oh yeah, and Group G, Ghana, just kidding. Wish Gary was here for that one. Maybe Gary will join us one day again.
I can't believe there's no Ghana there, man. It just feels unreal. For Ghana being in a competition where there's Nigeria and no Ghana is just very weird.
It's like Italy not qualifying for the Euros.
Absolutely, yeah, 100%.
But sure,
yeah.
that's kind of become a thing. I mean, the World Cup, rather.
To me, it even sounds like maybe Italy qualifying and then there's no England. Like, it's just one of those, it just doesn't make sense.
Ghana historically are probably top 5 footballing nations.
Definitely in Africa.
Maybe even top 3.
Yeah, maybe not top 3, but yeah. Nigeria, definitely top 3. But
there's no bias in that statement, is there?
There is no bias, I can tell you.
What are you basing it on? Are you basing it on players that have come out of the country?
No, I'm basing it on the kind of competitions we've gotten up to, you know, what we've won, and obviously the caliber of players to come from Nigeria as well. I don't think there's any African country that would match what's happened with Nigeria.
Ghana have won more AFCON titles there.
Ghana also, I'm thinking about Ghana in the 2010 World Cup. They made a run in that. Was it the quarterfinals or the semifinals?
Quarters, because I remember Morocco getting the semis.
Yeah, but
Uruguay and Paraguay was the,
But if you're talking about Ghana, what about the 2018 World Cup with Nigeria as well? Like, I mean, we can still go head to head with all of this stuff, and I can tell you for free that, you know, Nigeria still stands, you know, somewhere as a god when it comes to that football. Listen, we are the giants of Africa. There's a reason why they've said that.
Are they the giants of Africa?
Well, yeah, actually the giants of... No, for real. I mean, this is not just me capping. This is what all Africans know.
Okay, well, I want to hear who you guys think are the giants in Africa when it comes to footballing nation. I mean, what about Ivory Coast? What about that? You know, they went through a golden generation in the 2010s. Yaya Toure, Kolo Toure, Didier Drogba, Solomon Kalou. Come on. Oh. I mean, I know obviously Cameroon and Eto'o, but I think Ivory Coast might be.
Obviously the champions beating Nigeria in the final last time around. I think they're always, just like when you go into a Euros, I don't think Italy were the favourite for the Euros this summer just gone. Or was it 2 summers ago? It feels like a blur in the last 6 months. It's hard to believe that the Euros was 7 months ago. But yeah, I think going into it, you look at Cote d'Ivoire, and I think they're probably one of the favourites to win it, you know, given they're champions. But then, you know, Morocco, they did really well in the last World Cup. They're hosting it.
I feel like with sorry, I'm cutting you short, Alex. I feel like with African football these days, you just can't determine what would happen. It's almost like what's happened with the Euros. Obviously, the usual suspect would always climb up to the semi-finals, finals, or quarterfinals even. But when you look at that, the African side, you know, when you look at the caliber of players and the level to which they play for their countries and the politics involved as well, you will notice that there's been some level of changes happening right now. And you know, you can easily say, okay, you know, what are the usual suspects when it comes to winning? Ivory Coast, you can easily call them. But that last AFCON, you can say there's a spirit that comes with you hosting it, you know, at the same time. And when you see that they nearly did lose it to Nigeria in that final, I mean, it could have easily gone either way. But people would also have thought that it would have gone Nigeria well because of the caliber of players we had, but we just didn't. I mean, we've always asked Nigerians this question, the players when we've interviewed them. We felt like, hang on, wait, why are we not performing the way we would see you guys on paper? But now this time around, we're just hoping that there's a whole difference. I mean, it's still a very long way to go.
Yeah.
Still,
11 months?
11 months, yeah.
All right, well, let's welcome to the show Sporty FM broadcaster Eustace Akwe, joining us from Ghana. Hi, Eustace.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here.
We're so excited to have you. Get in the show. What is this?
Yeah, I'm here with the gas.
Ghana people, it is saying.
Oh my goodness. Gary's slacking off this show just to go do Sporty FM now.
It's because Ghana didn't qualify for the AFCON,
we
so
actually...
you didn't want to...
Oh, I knew you were going to bring that up.
Well, we have started with the AFCON draw, Eustace, so we do have to talk about it, obviously. How did you feel seeing the draw happen last night, obviously knowing Ghana wasn't going to be there?
Yeah, I mean, we've known for quite a while that Ghana wouldn't be there, but it really hit home hard yesterday night when we realized that the draw was actually taking place. And for real, like, it's unbelievable. That hasn't happened since 2004. I mean, think about it. Like 2 decades, we've always been like, there at the top level. And yesterday night, it really hit home. We are really not going to be there. And that's how bad our football is at the moment.
Sorry, sorry, you say Akwe.
It's Eustace Akwe, yeah.
Eustace Akwe, right? Okay.
Ghana, yeah.
I'm liking his vibe though.
Bringing the energy.
Now, I mean, I was going to ask you, like, talk to us. What do you think would have gone wrong with the Ghanaian football that's made you stoop so low to the point where you've not qualified for AFCON? I mean, this is not even World Cup. This is literally AFCON. That Ghana should be some kind of regular customers when it comes to that competition.
Well, Clinton, let me say first of all that I'm a very big fan of yours. I mean,
ooh la la.
Yeah, I like. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
I'm a very big fan of Clinton. Yeah. I mean, Sporty TV is on because of him every time. I love his vibes and the way he's controversial sometimes. Anyway, back to the question. So, Ghana football has actually been on a decline since 2019, I would say. It's been about 5 years now, and we haven't qualified not by chance, but it's actually a result of our constant failures at the AFCON. We initially used to get to the semi-final. When you look at the 2015, 2017, 2019 competitions, you can tell the decline. We started on a downward spiral. Now, from 2019 till now, we started exiting at the group stage, and definitely I knew that there would be a time where we wouldn't even be able to qualify. We haven't paid attention to the basics. Coaching has been an issue. Player commitment has been an issue. There's been a lot of factors that have clustered together to get Ghana football, especially the Black Stars, at this level right now.
No, but honestly, when you think about the fact that Ghana is not there. I mean, when he said that it hit them when they realized they were doing this run, Ghana was not there. Somehow it did hit me though, because I'm like, hang on, wait, because Ghana and Nigeria, we are like this. I don't know how I would explain it. We are this frenemies. I don't know if that's a word you would understand.
We are brothers. We are brothers.
Yeah, we are brothers.
One said frenemies, one said brothers. Okay.
And all of a sudden Ghana is not there, because the truth is, when Ghana is there, there's that whole, we are happy because we know there's going to be that competition of we can't wait for you to lose that game, and then we are going to start taunting you guys. I used to have this friend group in England where we play together, and it's always Nigeria versus Ghanaians, and you would literally think it's the AFCON based in Luton, and we always just look forward to every single Sunday. So it's almost the same vibe that comes with with this mainstream football, and not seeing Ghana there. I feel like we're just going there empty. That's our brother, that's our friend, that's our enemies. That when they come to play us in Abuja, and there's this game they came to Abuja, and Thomas Partey scored. Oh my God! Listen, I will never. I'm actually surprised that those footballers left Abuja all alive, man, because we could just not take it. you know.
Yeah.
And it was almost the same when we beat them too. It's like, hey, we've just won a World Cup. It's literally the relationship you would have with maybe Manchester City and Manchester United playing, that kind of derby, because these two West African countries who have come that close, and I mean, it really feels so bad. Now, there are some players in Ghana that I personally would have loved to see, in the AFCON. I would have loved to see them display. Give an example, Kudus Mohammed, whom I believe is probably the best Ghanaian player. Now, Akwait, tell me, who would you reckon is the best Ghanaian player to you right now?
Well, the star of the moment from Ghana has to be Mohamed Kudus. Not doing great with the national team. Of course, the national team itself as a whole isn't performing anything great on the world stage or the African stage. But Mohamed Kudus is our star man. You could argue Thomas Partey in there. But for most people, I think Mohamed Kudus is a star man at the moment. He's exciting. He's a big prospect, a Ghanaian prospect to the rest of the world. So it's easy for me. I think I'll just go for Mohamed Kudus if I'm to name the star boy of the Ghana national team right now.
Well, it always does happen, I think, in big tournaments, like Alex mentioned off the top, Italy not qualifying to World Cups. Now we have Ghana not qualifying in an AFCON. But Eustace, let me ask you, you've seen the draw now, you've seen the groups. What group immediately stood out to you as the so-called group of death?
Well, first of all, I must say that the group of death slogan has been invalid for me for a while now when it comes to tournaments, because on the African terrain, I could tell you that there are no minnows in the game right now. Before, certain countries, certain big name countries used to be talented, used to have more talent, more prospects, star players. But now you look at, even through the qualifying groups, you look at the group in qualifying, and you can tell that it was a very, very difficult terrain for all teams. Now, the likes of Comoros, Madagascar, and the supposedly smaller teams have actually come to the fore. They paid attention to grassroots football. They have learned. They have as much talent as the big teams. So you look at Comoros. They qualified second together with Tunisia. You look at Morocco and Gabon. That was an obvious choice. But when you go to the draw proper, you can tell that it's very, very balanced. Forget about the seeds. It's very, very balanced. I look at Group E, and I would say that's probably the most difficult group. We've got Algeria in there. We've got Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, who I think could be the surprise package. Remember last time out in the AFCON and in Cote d'Ivoire 2023. Remember that amazing run, Emiliano Nsue leading that team to a lot of glory. They almost made it to the semifinals, and I think they will pose a huge challenge, and they will fancy their chances of making it out of the group against Sudan, who's coached by former Black Star coach Kwesi Appiah, our very own. So Ghanaians are partially supporting Sudan, because they've got our manager, so we've got a bloodline relation in Sudan. But Algeria, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, and Sudan, I think is going to be very tough. And of course, Sudan was in Ghana's qualifying group. They pipped Ghana to qualification. So we also obviously recognize the quality that Sudan brings to the table. I think that's going to be the most difficult group. I don't think any team over there is going to have 9 points. It's a 24-team tournament. And then again, I cannot believe that Ghana did not make it to a 24-team tournament. I have to say again, I don't believe Ghana didn't make it. It feels like I'm dreaming, because I'm just looking through the groups. 24 teams. We've got Botswana, Tanzania, seeded fourth. No disrespect to these teams, but anyone would have fancied Ghana being on a stage like this. Because Clinton will tell you, even when we are at our very worst, when we see the likes of Nigeria, we come to life. He's talking about that goal scored by Thomas Partey just before the Qatar 2022 World Cup. And then I predicted. Of course, we didn't have Sporty FM at the time, but I did predict on other platforms that we're going to get that away goal. Even though we didn't beat Nigeria, we qualified by a technicality. So I'm sure Nigeria would miss the banter with Ghana all over social media and at the tournament. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, if Ghana was to qualify for this 2025 AFCON, which group would you have hoped for Ghana to be on? Just looking at that list, which team would you substitute for Ghana? Let's see.
Uh, really, Ghana would have been seeded in pot two. I'm sure. I'm sure about that. Ghana would have been seeded in pot two. So I would have loved Group C.
Group
Nigeria,
C.
Ghana, Uganda, and Tanzania. No, Nigeria is in the first pot. So yeah, definitely, I'd have loved Group C. Nigeria is always so
You would
sumptuous
have
when we
loved Group
meet
C.
them.
Okay, on that Group C, obviously Nigeria, Tunisia, Uganda, Tanzania. Which would you have taken away for Ghana to just get that slot in?
Oh well, maybe Uganda. I would have loved to replace Uganda. I don't think they're a bad team at all. I don't think Uganda is a bad team at all. Tanzania also, their local league so strong. But I fancy Ghana's chances if we're in a group with Nigeria.
Okay, now, looking at that Nigerian group, right? Obviously, I'm sorry, Ghana is
Yeah.
not there, so I'm not going to imagine Ghana was there again. I just wanted to give you some level of smiles. Just imagine they were there, and now that you've gotten the smile so far, right? Let's look at that Group C. Do you think it's a tough group for Nigeria as you speak?
Yeah, I think it's a very tough group for Nigeria. I mean, I respect what they did, especially last time out in the AFCON, making it all the way to the final and losing painfully to that Cote d'Ivoire team, whom I think were destined to win that tournament. Nigeria had an incredible run, and I think they have probably the sharpest forward line in the whole
Definitely,
of Africa right now.
definitely.
Yeah, when I look at their forward line, it's amazing. And I think for that reason, they brought in Eric Chell as the manager. Augustine Guavin in his second stint, although he struggled a bit, they did qualify with 11 points. It was a 4-point gap. Remember that controversial game against Libya with all
Yeah.
the stories
Yep.
surrounding it.
Yep.
But
Yep.
Nigeria got those 3 points and it made things a bit easier for them. They qualified, of course, with a little struggle. Augustine Guavin didn't look like the man to get their fourth AFCON title for them. They brought in a Rachel, and I think they brought him basically because he's attacking. His philosophy is to attack. He's an attack-minded coach, and then with the talent available in that Nigerian team, look going forward, I think it looks very sumptuous. And a coach with the right tactics will be able to mesh together something that will be really deadly for all the teams. Nigeria's forward line is amazing, and I think that they are one to look out for in this tournament. Even though I would have fancied Ghana playing against them, the Tunisians, on the other,
He's not going to stop mentioning
the
Ghana today, I
Tunisians.
promise you.
Oh yeah. The pain is in my heart. The pain is in my heart. You know,
This is the kind of
we
pain I
all
love
know
to see,
Tunisia.
man.
We all know Tunisia for what they are, and when you look at the top 5 African teams, you can tell that 4 of them are actually from North Africa. So you know the quality and the force. Tunisia ranked third on the continent, and you know that there are no minnows, no pushovers by any means. I fancy Tanzania also because of their team chemistry. Simba FC, they've got a lot of guys playing in the local league, and there's so much quality because they've been building that up. Tunisia is going to be a force to reckon with. Everybody on paper is going to say that Nigeria and Tunisia would qualify from that group. However, I think Tanzania would have something to say about that. I don't fancy Uganda too much. I'm sure my friends in Kampala won't be happy with me, but I've got a few friends in Dar es Salaam also. So I think I'll go for Tunisia to beat Nigeria at the very least.
All right. Interesting. Interesting.
Yes.
Who right now to you is the favorite to win it all? Is it Morocco, in that obviously we know what they've managed to do on the international stage? That run in the 2022 World Cup was incredible, but obviously it's at home. It's, they're hosting it. That's obviously plays a massive factor, like you mentioned with Ivory Coast.
Yeah, so the host and win has been a thing for host nations. They would love to win, and I think Morocco is best suited to win this. When you look at the African ranking, you look at the top 10. Remember, Ghana is 11. I digress, but Morocco is ranked number 1. Senegal is number 2. I've got Tunisia number 3, Algeria, and then Egypt. 4 North African teams making a strong claim for the title, and I'm tempted to believe that. I'm inclined to think that a North African team will win this tournament. I think West Africa had our time. Lots of powerhouses. When you look at the rankings from 6th to 10th, you can tell lots of West African teams also in the mix. But the tournament doesn't usually follow the form guide. I would say However, that I tip Morocco, not just because of what they've done at the World Cup the last time out, but I think that 1976 is a very long time. That's what, 49, that would be 49 years since they last won the AFCON, and that was their only time. They haven't had many exciting teams up until now. I think the last time I fancied a Moroccan team should have been in France '98, where they had some very spectacular players. Mustafa Haji, Nuruddin Nebet. They had Dries Ben Zekri in goal, I think. Yeah, it was a fantastic team the Moroccans had in France '98, even though they didn't make it that far. They played some really exciting football, and I think they also went to a final in 2004 where they missed out narrowly. They haven't won it, and I think this is their best chance to come up with that title despite the West African and fellow North African opposition. Morocco is the team for me.
You know what? I was going to ask you, right? Obviously, you mentioned when you spoke about Nigeria having the best forward in Africa right now, which personally, I would. No,
You're fishing here. You're fishing.
No, I'm not. But this is. I mean, these are known facts, though. When you think about the, all our forwards, the kind of exploits they are doing in their individual clubs in Europe or wherever they are. I mean, we've heard that today. Boniface is going to play with Cristiano Ronaldo. It's not confirmed just yet, but it might be happening. I mean, it's something we are very proud of, right? Now, do you? I don't know how to put this question. Like when you look at what we have, right? Why are you not placing Nigeria to be those ones to stand as maybe your first three favorites to be winning this?
Did you watch your qualifiers?
Oh.
No, hang on.
I was just going to ask that.
Hold on.
I got you,
No.
Houston.
But hang on.
Somebody has to
It was
get
going to be.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
going to be my follow-up question, because my follow-up question was still going to be the same questions I've even asked our Super Eagles footballers. You guys have seen me asking questions like, we are probably the best on paper, but we seem not to be delivering to the level of the players that we present on paper. We have Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface. You have the Ademola Lookman, who's just won the African Player of the Year recently. You are talking about the likes of Samuel Chukwueze, who's literally one of the craziest wingers. When you remember the goal he scored against Real Madrid, it was in Champions League competition, right?
You're talking about this season?
No, I'm not talking about this. This was like a season or two ago. No, it was. No, you need to go check it, man. This was one of the most beautiful goals I've seen, against Real Madrid by a player from AC Milan. It was crazy. Like, I'm telling you, if you see the way he went from that right wing and he caught it to the left, he used his left foot. Boom, bro, that goal, I stood up. Like, if not that my TV was very strong, trust me, I would have had to go call my insurance company, like straight up. It was a goal of death. So when you literally put these Super Eagles on paper, you would think that we would never lose a game, but we are losing games against countries like Benin. Like, these are countries where I'm telling you that they are superstar players. Like I would say, against Leganes player, these players don't even have two boots. Some of them, are probably, I don't know, like this. We don't even know one player from these countries, but you will see Nigerians struggling to. So when what would you anticipate from my country this time?
Well,
and please don't mention
I'll
Ghana
start. No, I won't. This is for Nigeria. I'm doing it for our brothers.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think I was quite sad when Jose Pereira left. Jose Pereira left after the AFCON because I thought he was really good at pegging that team together. The team chemistry for Nigeria was very, very brilliant in the last AFCON. However, in the qualifiers, you could tell that it takes a lot more to win a tournament than just individual players, individual quality. That doesn't get you. We've seen so many examples before. We've seen the Ivorian teams at the World Cups when they had Didier Drogba, Solomon Kalou, and etc. They had Yaya Toure. So it's not about the individual qualities of players. It's about getting a unit that works and is productive. You look at that Nigerian team, they have quality all over the pitch. I look at Aina and the form he's in. I look at Chukwueze, Ademola Lookman. There are so many good players in there. But having the good players is one side of the equation. You need to be able to gel them into a system that works. That's why at tournaments, sometimes you have other teams that don't have too many star names, but a very tightly knitted team, and you see the cohesion. They understand the systems that they play. Sometimes I remember Ghana in 2010. They actually used to call us the one goal project team because we always beat our opposition by 1-0. You understand? So it's about understanding, getting a coach that understands, a technical team that understands how to patch pieces of the jigsaw together into one unit. And then moving forward, you assess the opposition and deploy the right tactics against whichever team you come up against. We saw the Ivorians change manager midway through the last AFCON. And MSFI, you saw what he came to do, just gel them as a unit, rally them together. And it didn't take much for us to see his exploits and what implants that a coach can have on a team. So it's about coaching. Individual players, Nigeria are blessed to have, but it's about coaching, it's about team chemistry. And I think it's about mental fortitude and resilience more than anything else. And these are the factors it takes to win a tournament. Nigeria seem to lack, they are always short of one at every point in time. But I think they brought in Eric Chell, who has the right mentality when it comes to attacking. He would like to outscore his opponents, and Nigeria have the men at the back. I trust William Troost-Ekong to solidify things at the back. I don't think they'll have too much of a problem defensively because they have a fairly decent squad when it comes to the overall gameplay.
You know, one question I was going to throw to you again quickly, and obviously, Alex, I don't know if I need your input on this one because I feel like we've gone into Africa now, and your voice has suddenly gone to
No,
England,
I'm just letting you guys hammer it out.
This is why I wanted to visit Nigeria, visit Ghana, come there and enjoy yourself. But now, listen. And this thing is also something that I believe a few people would suggest for Ghana too, because they felt like you have Ghana, Nigeria, whom when you look at the players performing in outside of the hemisphere of Africa in their individual clubs, these are monsters. When we mention the likes of obviously Mohamed Kudus, you are talking about Thomas Partey, coming to Nigeria, a whole bunch of them.
Jordan Ayew, yeah.
Jordan Ayew as well. In fact, the Ayew brothers. These are crazy players. Would you agree with people who would say, no, drop these guys whom are doing exceptionally well in their individual leagues because they come back home and they don't give you that level of performance? Why don't you use homegrown players? Why don't you go into the Nigerian leagues where people seem to be hungry? They want to get out there. They want to be able to shine. They want to, because these guys are the people they will believe will play their hearts. Now, are you one of those that would, consider or get, hope that your National Football Federation would consider bringing more of these homegrown players instead of these guys doing exploit outside of Africa?
Well, yes, I'd say that. Of course, you should. It's appropriate. I think it's just apt to be able to put a few homegrown players in the team. They would get the required experience. They also bring a feeling of patriotism to the team, and they are born and bred in Ghana or in Nigeria, and they understand what it means to play for the national colors. So it's actually right to have a few of them in there. But the problem is that there are too many good players out there on the global stage, and so much quality, and that's actually a good headache to have as a national team manager if you think about it. But the merging of the local players together with those who play on the world stage is a crucial tactic, and we've seen many a manager fail at this because, like I said, it's not just about Thomas Partey, Jordan Ayew, Mohamed Kudus, Ernest Niama, Mohamed Salisu. It's not just about getting them, but it's actually
even the Williams as well. I mean, obviously, one of them plays for Spain.
Yeah.
Of course, Iñaki Williams. So week in, week out, you see them in their clubs, Athletic Bilbao, West Ham United, whatever it is. You see what they do individually, but to be able to get them to play for their country and die for the country and show as much commitment. And that's one of the, I think, the effects of not playing in the junior levels for your national team. Because if you've played under 17, under 20, under 23, and you've lost tournaments, you felt the pain. I mean, when it happens at the national team level, you have been through the mill, and then you have the feeling, you know what it takes to die for your country. So, and that's one of the things I think the national team of Ghana especially is suffering from. We don't have a lot of players, probably with the exception of Mohamed Kudus, and maybe Andre Ayew. I don't think we have more than 3 players who came through the ranks. And so that is a problem fundamentally when it comes to team bonding, understanding the national assignment. So all these things play a role, and that's why it's equally important to have locally based players infused into the team, so that they bring that cultural deficiency that you have some of these players suffering from. They bring it to the fore, and they are able to merge everything, and then the national identity is stricken on the way the team plays. So it's there's a lot of factors coming together to play for your country. It's very different from club football. We've seen the likes of Belgium on the world stage. So many star players in the era of Kevin De Bruyne at the golden age. No trophies to be won because certain elements were missing in that team. And that is what the Black Stars, I think, are suffering from.
Should we mention one more country?
Don't.
Okay.
I would have loved to go to England quickly, man.
As soon as
But
you
I was
said
just looking at
Belgium-
your
yes,
face.
yes.
As soon as you
Classic
said Belgium,
example.
I knew that there was
Classic
another
example.
country in there that could have been named.
No, I mean, also, you see, there's this, thing that people would also mention. They would say one of the reasons why they seem not to be performing to that level where they would expect them is the fact that there's that bond is not there. So they don't get the opportunity to play together as often as possible. So maybe before games, they literally just have the opportunity to come back home, train for like a month, and they have to go perform. Now, do you think that also affects their level of performance too? Because when you look at Europe, right, say England, for example, most of the English players, you see them still competing among themselves within that European level, and some of them even play with themselves in the same clubs as well.
Yeah.
So there's
And
that.
it's like you just said there, you watch that England squad, quite a lot of them have played under 17s, under 18s,
Absolutely,
under
yes.
19s.
Yeah.
You've seen them win stuff together and
Yeah.
lose stuff together. And,
Yeah.
and it's that, he talked about the bond, but it's getting to know the other player on the pitch, because we've seen PSG is the perfect example. You can have all the stars and individuals on the pitch, but if they don't gel together and work together as a team, you're not going to win things.
Well, I mean, I guess Alex is pretty much. But I don't know if you want to have any kind of input yourself.
Yeah. So I think I look at the Ghana team. Y'all remember the team at the World Cup in 2010 when
I
it was time
literally
for
said
Africa?
that. No one will forget
Okay.
that team.
All right. Okay. So good. So that team was a product of I think that project started in 2001. Michael Essien, Sule Montari, Stephen Appiah. So
God,
we had the
Montari.
2001 youth team. We had the 2003, 2005, 2007 team in there. A lot of the core of that team had played together, so they knew each other. The bonding was there. They could play blindfolded, literally, if you put them to the test. And that was the foundation of that team. So we had a few bits and pieces of the puzzle just being fitted along the way, but we had an identity and a style of play. And that's actually buttresses the point I'm making about team bonding, and then getting a good coach who understands the philosophy of the team, the identity of the team. So all the factors came together for Ghana, and we had a brilliant striker in Asamoah Gyan, who also came through the youth ranks. They could find him on the long overhead pass. They could find him when it was difficult. They knew he had the pace and power. He was reliable, and the entire team trusted him as the arrowhead. All right. So that was the Ghana team. And I'm comparing to what we have now. And that's why, I mean, when I use that as a litmus test, I could tell you for free that that is the missing element. The quality of the players is never in question. However, the process to get a team with a winning mentality has been altered. And that's why we are suffering for it. So Ghana's problems won't be cured. We are trying to get to the World Cup. It won't be cured. It won't be cured by calling this player or just doing this thing. We need to actually, if we want to solve it long term, we need to go back to the drawing board, pay attention to under 17s, under 20s. And we used to be world champions, at least in 2009. first African team to win the Under-20 World Championship.
Oh, 7
We-
years.
we are
Somebody
not
would
even-
not mention. Ooh la la.
Someone mentioned.
Yeah,
it in
Antoine
chat.
Semenyo.
Oh, no,
Antoine
that guy is
Semenyo.
crazy currently, man.
Antoine Semenyo.
Jesus
Look at the kind of
Christ, man.
season he's having.
Yeah.
Look at the kind of
One of the
season he's
best
having.
in
And we are
Bournemouth,
not going
man.
to see him at the AFCON.
It's crazy. I
I
know.
think it's absolutely,
Sorry,
it's
sorry
absolutely
again.
catastrophic.
If Nigeria gets
It's
knocked out
catastrophic
of
that Ghana is
they
not.
are going to come for you.
No, you know what? I think CAF should give us a wild card entry.
Who's the best player in Africa currently, in your opinion?
Oh, there's no question about it. The statistics, the figures don't lie. Ademola Lookman, and I know I know where you're trying to get to, because Victor Osimhen.
I don't know anything about football.
No, you see, wait, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. So Victor
is
Osimhen.
absolutely the best African player right now.
Listen, please, listen
No,
to a
no,
professional
no.
football commentator, please.
No, I'm telling you, Mohamed Kudus is on the trajectory. He's not there yet. Now, Ademola Lookman, look at what he did in the Europa League final.
Oh,
It doesn't get bigger
I'm very
than that.
aware, but have you seen what Mohamed
And-
Salah
Wait,
has
wait,
done
hold on,
this
relax,
season in the
relax.
Premier
He's making a
League?
point.
Okay.
Hey, wait. He's making a point, please. Continue, sir. You have
So-
30 minutes to give us this point. 30 full minutes.
So Nigeria have won that best African player award back to back, Osimhen, and
Yeah.
now Ademola Lookman. And you look at their profiles of these players; they are two different kinds of players. But Lookman, and I think what makes him more distinct is his journey. I mean, 5 years ago, who would have thought?
Yeah.
But look at the climb, the way he's built himself, the quality, the techniques. He's forced everybody to appreciate the kind of player that he is, and I think he owns that title undisputedly. Mohamed Kudus, Mohamed Salah, or anybody else for that matter, we are not questioning their pedigree or their class. But Mohamed Salah has been doing it for so long. He's been up there on that mark. He's 32 years old now, and he's done very well to maintain that consistent level. However, I think trophies define these individual awards. Mohamed Salah actually could be named. I think he will be in contention for this year's award once again, and he will have a very strong chance, especially if Liverpool are able to win the Premier League.
I think what you took is that I never said Ademola Lookman shouldn't have won that trophy. I think everyone agrees. But if you're asking me right now, who am I taking between those two? Mohamed Salah every single time. Should Ademola Lookman have won the African Player of the Year? Absolutely. There's no doubt, especially since Mohamed Salah didn't have his best year last year. But Alex,
Still scored 25 goals for suppose.
that was also, I think that was a bit of an unfair argument. Oh, he's been too good for too long at the same level.
You see, for the first time,
consistency.
I'm just happy to hear somebody say the truth and back me for what I've been hammering on. You see, now you guys can argue with your computers, you can argue with your wristwatch, argue with your social media. That's your business, man. But we've had a very unusual truths that usually we don't get from this show.
You say that you're happy to have someone else. The YouTube poll going on at the moment, who is the best forward in Africa? Other has 29%, Kudus has 0%, Lookman has 12%, Salah has 59%.
Nah, but you need to understand that everybody votes in there. The truth is, if you go and check what they've not had dinner this evening, right? All of them, so what's going on in their head is not really.
If Egypt wins this, it's going to be a long day for you, sir. I'm telling you right now.
No, but listen to me, right? At the end of the day, this coming AFCON, fact is, anybody would win it, right? We've seen what's happened with the qualifiers, and what's
I'm
happened.
sorry, Markinde said Lookman's not even in the top 5 right now.
Oh, get out!
I'm just going to put that. I'm just going to leave that for you guys. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not saying anything. It's not good.
No, but why? Sorry, go on.
The stats don't lie. All right. So Lookman in 19 games has 10 goals and 5 assists. His team Atalanta is not exactly shining, and I think that's what's put a little cloud over his performance.
Yeah.
But even in that, look at the result. Look at his individual exertion on the team.
I have told them
literally
this. Oh God!
He's
If you know how many times,
he's dragging the Atalanta team.
if you know how many times I've given them what you've just said, and I'm tired of. Hold on. You guys didn't
carefully listen to what he said. He's comparing because I told you guys that if Ademola Lookman was in a team that we can put together on a team like Liverpool level, the kind of caliber of players there, then we will not be having this kind of conversation.
If I was from Lagos, I'd be Nigerian, but I'm
Clinton.
not.
What
That's
do you
what
mean?
you're saying.
What
Like,
do you
you're-
mean?
you're
Though? I don't understand
Clinton.
that's not an argument for me.
But what you guys are talking about is theoretical. Yes, Liverpool's team is definitely better. That's what Clinton was saying. You know, we had this conversation, and I remember it. But I'm sorry, we can't be saying anything
Bro,
theoretical.
I mean, look at what happened. Okay, hold on.
Doesn't make
Look
sense.
at what happened. Look at what happened at the Super Cup, right? Real Madrid versus Atalanta. Yeah, there was only one player that turned up in that game. It was only one player.
We're not
Everybody
saying anything
slept.
bad about Lookman.
Everybody slept. But I'm telling you that if Ademola Lookman had the caliber of players at his level playing alongside him that turned up in that game, maybe they could have probably won Real Madrid. That have not really been, as at that point, they had not really been at their top. In fact, that was one of the lowest of Real Madrid. Real Madrid, during the start of this season, they were quite right. Okay, I shouldn't be using that word, but they were quite rubbish. They were quite rubbish. You understand? And if that Real Madrid at that level was facing an Atalanta, who facing Real Madrid because they had won the Euros, a Super Cup, and everybody slept. The one person who we saw, I mean, if you even remember, for me, I'm just happy that it's not just me saying this now, right? I'm happy that there are people who think just the same way what I've been trying to relay on people on this show.
Can I go back just to your point about the fact that Salah plays in a better team? I'm going to go to Salah's 2016-17 season with Roma, which arguably, you could say on paper was similar to Atalanta. Salah, 19 goals, 15 assists. Ademola Lookman in supposedly his best season of his career, 17 goals, 10 assists.
Okay, so what's that supposed to mean?
Salah's better. Whatever you team.
No, but no, to me.
You got absolutely cooked. That's what that means. Alex, you went back to the history book.
No, but that's the thing. For me, right? It doesn't. To me, going back to 2017 though, or 2016.
But
He went back to supposedly most Salah's
Bro, you're not
worst
gonna.
season
No.
and
But
the
you're not
worst
gonna
club
compare
he's been
football
at.
then to football.
No, but you put
Salah's
Salah
had a
in
better
any
career.
team. He's better than Ademola Lookman in any team.
Salah's had a better career. I mean, if you look at the entirety
so
of his
far,
career,
let's
I think
see.
he's had a
Definitely.
better career. No,
I'm
because
not gonna
if you
argue
put a
that.
poll, if you put a poll to argue those two players' career, Salah is going to win.
100%. That's why I would not go back.
We are talking about current form.
Yes.
Right? So current form. Ademola Lookman is reigning, and Liverpool are in the form of their lives. Look, what Arne Slot has done with Jurgen Klopp's team, very few coaches can do. They are like a Rolls Royce. They are moving at the rhythm where you know that they are going to win. Look at their position on Champions League log. There's no opposition that seems worthy right now for Liverpool. And Salah in any system like that will shine. Okay? So why don't we compare Salah's performance when it comes to the AFCON? Why don't we take a look at that? If he's so good at Roma
I think we will.
and at Liverpool,
I think we
let's
absolutely
look
will
at his
watch
records.
that.
His records with Egypt. So no, the point I'm trying to make is that teams do matter. I mean, we saw Osimhen spearheading that Napoli team that won the Scudetto. We've seen Osimhen, obviously in Galatasaray. He's the same player, but different team, different outlook. The spotlight isn't as bright, even though he's performing. The complexion of everything is different because of the team he's playing for. All right, so that is what I think. I know form is temporary and class is permanent. Overall, Mohamed Salah will win. But the argument is who's the better player at this point in time?
Salah,
like 100%.
But you see, see. I feel like you see, football is individual. Everybody has their individual opinion, and we're all allowed to have it. But for like he said, I just feel like I'm not the guy who would go back in history because I feel like there's so many things that would change or that would make me not accept going back as far. Like, there are so many things I can decide to tell you now that, okay, this, we can easily say, okay, Ronaldo, I'm talking about R9, right? People can argue to say, okay, maybe if we brought R9 back to this generation where they play football, is he going to be who he used to be? Like, we don't know. I mean, things could change. Like, a lot of things have changed, right? But now we are speaking about what is going on in football at this point, right? So, and you're comparing them not just individually, but even to their team. This is how I look at my football. You know, and you will see how they perform in these teams according to their levels in terms of how strong they are, the people they play around with, and you know, this is how when you look at Musa and look at the team he plays for, when you look at Liverpool, when you look at how long he's been there, you're not going to compare that to Ademola Lookman, who's just gone to Atalanta, who's literally just shining. You see what he was in England, you know, how he felt like, in fact, his career was nearly dying, and boom, all of a sudden he's gone to a team where he's become probably their top, literally their best player. Who knows? You know, people would call Ademola Lookman the best player in Atalanta, and you're not going to compare him to somebody who's literally been in that limelight. My man is shining, and right now I feel like, bro, you know, we can't take it out from him. Like,
No, I don't think we are.
You know,
by saying we think Salah's better. There's no denying Ademola Lookman's had a fantastic 18 months at Atalanta. He will arguably go on and continue to have a fantastic season and hopefully a fantastic AFCON in 2025-26. But I think when you look at what he's done compared to what Salah's done and what Salah is doing at Liverpool compared to what Lookman is doing at Atalanta, I think we're definitely not taking away what Lookman's doing. We're just saying we think.
remember I asked you one crazy question, and people are going to be angry with me for cutting you again. You know, I asked you one crazy question a couple of days, or I asked the both of you. I said, if we put an Ademola Lookman in this current Liverpool team, what do you think his goal and assist combination, what do you think it would be? Is it going to be the same as Atalanta, or is it going to be even more? That's the question
I think it's difficult to say, because you look at how Ademola Lookman has done when he has played in the Premier League, and he's been rather poor, I think.
No, see, this is the problem again. I've literally just asked you a very simple question, right? I just said to you, if you bring this current Ademola Lookman into this Liverpool, I'm talking about the Ademola Lookman who has just won.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think you can say, if we bring this Ademola Lookman into this Liverpool team, I don't think it's as easy as saying he will continue to score goals and assists, because the Premier League is a completely different league to the Serie A. It's a higher paced game. It's a more physical game. Obviously, I don't know. We don't know whether he could adapt.
It's a hard argument to have, because you don't know. I know what the point you're trying to make is, but the theoretical of it all doesn't really make sense, because we could say, like, you know, if Messi came back to Barcelona, like, what? We don't know. We have no clue.
I just saw something here. Makinde says, "Are you telling me?" And please, the guys in the control room, I want to see Akwe on my screen, please, because I feel like he's the most important support system we have right now. You know, these guys, they've been terrorizing.
He's your only one to help you.
Yeah,
no, he's the only one speaking my language, man. You know, somebody just asked. The person said, "Are you telling me that Lookman will bench Gakpo?" That's a very good one.
The last comment.
Really?
The last one.
Really?
Markinde is here for a fight.
No, forget about it.
No,
These Real Madrid fans, they're all mad. Sorry.
Aren't you a Real Madrid
So
fan?
Clinton.
Yeah.
So
no,
Clinton, I'm thinking that everybody's looking at Mohamed Salah because of what he has done in the entirety of his career. He's been at Liverpool for the better part of the last decade. He has been there for the better part of the last decade. He has played in a system he's known for what, 6, 7, 8 years. He's known that system, and Liverpool have played a certain way since Jurgen Klopp took over. He fits in so well, but he struggles when he plays for the Egyptian national team because he doesn't score as much. He's not as potent because it's a different system. Now, he's 32 years old. Ademola Lookman is 27. Salah has a 5-year head start. Now, what I'm saying is that we are rating Salah from probably 21, 22 till 32. Ademola Lookman has just begun that journey.
Yeah.
Oh, no. There goes your lifeline.
We've lost.
Nah.
Did I hear him say at the end, Salah's better?
No, you didn't hear me say that.
Oh, no.
No, but no.
you guys know.
It's a very tricky and funny debate. But you know, I still stand and I still understand his points, and I also do understand your points as well. You know, where you're coming from. Like he said, I think you guys are looking at a whole long stretch what my man has been doing, whereas we are looking at what my man is doing currently. And
No, I'm looking at this season. Mohamed Salah's snapping out of control.
yeah, but that's where my argument always still comes in. That anyways, we'll still continue going back and forth.
Let's move along quickly because we don't have too much time. But you talked about it earlier, or you alluded to it. Victor Boniface.
Yeah.
Heading to Saudi Arabia. It looks like it. He wasn't at practice today with Bayer Leverkusen. Xabi Alonso came out and made a statement saying that it does look like he's leaving the club. Clinton, Boniface going to Al Nassr with Cristiano Ronaldo, 24 years old. What do you have to say about it? Also, on top of the fact that he told you specifically in a Sporty TV interview that he was not going to go.
He was definitely not going at this point. And
cut to what, 2 months later? 3 months?
I mean,
okay.
I mean, this is me wanting to defend him here. There's this song by one artist called Pato Rankin in Nigeria. Money they call me, yeah, ego nakbo, money they call me, yeah, ego nakbo, money they call me, yeah, ego nakbo, Do you know the meaning of that song?
No.
I mean, the first one was English though. Money they call me, money is calling me, and then it went in the local language Igbo. Ego nakbo, money is calling me. Money did call, and for me at this point, it's not even about the money. Somehow, a part of me, I am two sides of the coin. I am hoping it does go. And I'm also saying to myself, if it doesn't, it's also still good. Either way, right? I would love to see him play with the second best player in history. Or will I say history, at least currently, after Lionel Messi, right? And I think it's going to be a very big flex for a player of his ability and the current level where he's played up to. I'm sure there was a point where he looked forward to Cristiano. I mean, remember during the interview, he said that Neymar was the guy whom he's really watched and he sees him as a god. And Neymar I can say for sure that Neymar would also look at Ronaldo and say, no, you are a legend to me and you are somebody who I look forward to. So him having the opportunity to go to a team where you have Ronaldo playing, for me, training with Ronaldo is something huge. Forget about if you don't even get to feature in the same game with him, but just being able to say, I am training with the GOAT.
Sorry, can I just read out here, apparently this is a confirmation, that Victor Boniface will join Al Nassr. The medical is complete.
Jesus Christ.
60 million euro fee to Leverkusen.
Blimey.
Damn!
Hey! Sorry,
I mean, I think...
Does that not seem extremely low?
I think when you look at the current money, you look at the transfer windows in the past sort of 18 months, 24 months, the money that has been paid for players not as good as Victor Boniface has been a lot more. I think perhaps the only reason why it's not as high as it should have been is because of the injuries over the last sort of 6, 8, 10 months he's had. And it feels...
Sounds like a move to, like, Italy. Victor Boniface joins AC Milan for 60 million. This is Saudi Arabia, and this is allegedly the reason we know why players are going.
Yeah.
And he's, sorry, just to remind everyone at home, he's 24 years old.
Now, but funny enough, though, I think, they added an extra 10 million. Initially, they were going for 50 million, but if they say 60 million now, I think, they still tried. But, it's...
I think it's a shame.
I'm disappointed. I think it's...
I'm very disappointed.
Obviously, I don't know if he's going to come back. We don't know. He could come back in a few years. But
in 2 years or 3, who knows?
We say this about a lot of players, and so far it's not.
I think if that's it for him in Europe, I think it's a waste of a career in terms of what he could have done in Europe. He could have gone to an even bigger... He's already playing for one of the biggest sides in Europe.
The next move would have been,
He could have gone to a Barcelona, a Real Madrid. I'm not saying, I know he said that he wasn't interested in the Premier League, but a Liverpool, a Man City, a team that could potentially fight year in, year out for Champions League titles. And at the end of the year, of his career, yes, he may look back and think, I'm happy with the move I made to Saudi, but it feels very much like the wrong move for me. This is just my point of view. If I was in his position, obviously can't comment as to what his motives are. Obviously there are many different reasons you go to Saudi. One of them being the money, the big one being the money. Let's not beat around the bush. But I feel like it's for a 24-year-old a bad move to make.
Quickly, I just heard that we have Eustace back with us. Eustace, if we can get your thoughts on Victor Boniface moving to Al Hilal, €60 million move.
This is obviously down to personal preferences because I mean, as a the whole football ecosystem would say that we want to see Victor Boniface on the bigger stages, on European nights for the Champions League. We want to see him. He has a lot to prove. A bigger team, yes, could get him. He could come to the Premier League. He could go to the La Liga. There's still a lot of massive potential that is untapped for Victor Boniface. However, when money comes calling, it's a big temptation, especially when you are from Africa. And let me be very frank about it. Now, we had the same situation when Asamoah Gyan was playing for Sunderland and had to move to Al Ain in the United Arab Emirates. It was a big issue back home here in Ghana. And the question was, should Asamoah Gyan move or not? So he signed a deal that was $250,000 a week for it was a 3-year deal for 3 years. And he made the move. And obviously, I spoke to him personally, and he told me it was a decision he never regretted. Because after football, there's still life. Okay, so when you are coming from our side of the world, these are massive opportunities that he probably won't get even playing for the biggest of teams. When you look at the wages, the wage bill that they flash in front of you, and you look at how short a football career is, you'd actually wonder. It puts you in a big dilemma. If you are a star player for a big team in Europe, of course you leave a legacy. But now I'm sure it's a question of two worlds. Would you want to leave a legacy, or would you want to go after the money? It's as simple as that. And I think Victor Boniface's team and his family would advise him to take the decision that best suits him. I think
Don't worry, we know.
all we can do is critique. We can criticize and say, "Oh, we should have done that," because we want to see the best of him on the best stages globally. If he moves to the Saudi League, he'll be a little confined. He won't have as much mileage as he'd love his career to. It comes with its merits and demerits, obviously, but I wouldn't say he should stay or move to the Saudi League. I don't want to. I'll just sit on the fence on this one because I think it's an entirely personal decision.
No, I mean, listen, I'm just happy for him, man. I know people would usually carry this rumor. I was speaking to him, but he didn't really speak directly. Or he didn't even say anything concerning what I'm about to say. But, there's this belief that, what are you trying to win? Yeah, he's won a league title in Germany, right? Are you looking to get a Ballon d'Or? There's a very huge likelihood that you're probably not going to get it.
There's so much more football that he could have played.
No, I know.
It's a legacy.
No, but you see, it still comes down to that whole question of what is the motive, when I was interviewing him, we did say, is it money or more money, and maybe it's time for the more money, and why not? Everybody in his family, they'll be happy for the good that will come in. And for me, it's not even about that. For me, just knowing that you're going to be training with Ronaldo, you're not going to be playing with money. I don't know what kind of legacy anybody would hope for. You know how many young players that will play that will pray to literally just say my teammate was Ronaldo.
All right, well, we do have to go. Thank you so much, Eustace, for joining us. It's been a pleasure to speak with you. Tell Gary to get his butt back on the show, though. We've been missing him. And tomorrow, guys, we're back. Champions League action. We have a watch-along here. It's the last day. It's the final day. Who will go through to the knockout round? We'll find out tomorrow. But until then, guys, as always, enjoy the football.
Hey.
Gary.